Email marketing experiments takes you behind the scenes of failed and successful email marketing campaigns. Simply put, what we've tried in the past that worked or didn't work. We go from idea to strategy and results with lessons in between. We keep it real and super practical. We even started asking our guests to spill their worst email marketing mistakes, and some may just shock you to the core. I'm Dr. Sapphire, the host of Email Marketing Experiments and the founder of Sapphire Learning Hub, an online email marketing school that helps you start, grow, and transition into email marketing so that you can get paid to offer it as a service. Let's dive into today's episode. So today we're going to be looking at how I grew my list in March 2026 by 307 people. This is a solo episode and we're going to be looking into list building. One of the questions I get a lot is, how do you grow your list? How do you grow your list? How do you grow your list? And I tell people that list growth has to be intentional and you have to plan and schedule your list growth. So with that being said, the next question is, so how and what are the methods you use and you have used? So I'm going to be sharing with you what I did in March, right, to grow my list by 307 people. And I didn't have any ad spend. So I didn't run any ads or any of those, pay per click and all of those things. All right. So I'm going to take you through the strategy. I'll show you the results, the key insights, and you're going to see exactly what I did and how you can do it too. So a bit of the backstory, right? In February, I had decided that for International Women's Day this year, I wanted to do something and I wanted to do something different. So I had gone to the International Women's Day page. I had scrolled through to see all the criteria, all the things it was about, the team, all of that. And then I looked at, my arsenal, the things that I had and how I could key into this team. Then I had an idea, right? And I decided to go ahead and execute this idea. Now, this idea involved me reaching out to 11 different people, right? And it led to 8 different collaborations. And I know you're hearing collaborations, so you're going to think it was stressful, it was hectic. No, the execution of this strategy took about a week to 10 days, right? Because I think my first outreach message was like on the 27th of February, between 25th and 27th, okay? And then the campaign kicked off proper like the 6th or thereabout. So I wasn't creating anything new. I wasn't starting from scratch. So here's what I did. I looked at what I wanted to do and the people and communities that would align with what it is I wanted to do. Okay. So a bit of what I wanted to do, I had told myself that for International Women's Day, I wanted to do something different, right? Yeah. So I looked at what I already had existing in my arsenal, and there were these masterclasses that we had already scheduled to hold for a particular group of people in our online email marketing school. So what I did was I bundled these masterclasses together, right? They were actually high value masterclasses because people had paid for them. I bundled them together. And then I had decided that for International Women's Day, I was going to make them available. I had called it the Email Marketing Career Bundle. So I gave it a name, right? To make it more attractive. I productized it basically. And I called it Email Marketing Career Bundle. Some of those classes were classes that had held and will hold. So for the ones that had held, they'll get the replay. For the ones that were yet to hold, they will get the invite link to the session. There were about 6 classes in total. And then I made a list of the people who had the community and the audience who will benefit from this. So freelancers, service providers who wanted to start, grow, or transition into email marketing. So either they wanted to start or they wanted to develop themselves. And I came up with a list of about 11 different people, right? Some of them people I had collaborated with in the past. Some of them people I had a personal relationship with. Some of them people I had served their community in the past. So I really, really took time to look into what it is that I had before going out externally, right? And I'm just going to read out like what the message that I sent to these people looks like. So remember, we had some of them that I had relationships with, and then we had those that there was no relationship. So it was cold, cold, cold. So for the ones that I had a relationship with, it will go something like, hi, hello, I'm Dr. Sapphire. So the title of the email was International Women's Day Collaboration. And it's like, hello, I'm Dr. Sapphire, email marketing strategist and educator, right? And this one I'm reading was for somebody that I had no relationship with. And I was like, for International Women's Day this year, I thought hard about what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't want to give away something that cost me nothing. So I bonded together 6 powerful guest expert sessions, live sessions plus replay access that were previously exclusive to paid members of our email marketing mentorship class of 2026. And I would love to extend this bundle to your community. And then I inserted the name. Then I went on to talk about what the 6 classes will help them do, who was teaching these 6 classes. And then I said to celebrate International Women's Day, this bundle will be available free of charge until the end of March 2026. My ask, I'll be honored if you could share this opportunity with your community via email or social. My goal is to give generously to women and freelancers who want to build or elevate their careers in email marketing and improve their skills this year. Then I added a link to the landing page for the bundle. And I said, please let me know if this aligns with your vision and what will be required on your end to make this collaboration happen. I look forward to hearing from you positively. Now, this particular one I'm reading, right? She replied me. So she received this email on the 6th of March. So remember, I said I started sending out emails like it was in the last week of February, right? And this one went out on the 6th. And then she messaged me on the 7th. And then she was like, thank you so much for reaching out and for the thoughtfulness behind this offer. This aligns with what brand had put her brand name stands for, and I would love to share with our community. I'll take a look at the link and come back to you with any questions. Looking forward to making this work. And then later that day, she responded that she just checked it out. She loves what's in there. And then we should let her know what assets we had available in terms of graphics, captions, and we can take it from there. Of which I then sent an email with a link to the assets that we had available that we had created. Now, it's important for you to know that we didn't create multiple assets for different people. We created one asset that everybody could use, right? Now, for this other brand, okay, I had done something with them before. Okay, something, I had been like a resource tutor in their community. And so when I started, right, I went on to mention that, it was a privilege. I started by saying, I'm Dr. Sapphire, email marketing strategist and educator, and a past email marketing mentor I put their community name and the year, right? So I just put that before I went into, for International Women's Day this year. For the other brand, I was a customer. Obviously, it's a bigger brand, but I was a walking customer to their shop. And I'm like, and I'm a fan of your brand's spicy mocha and chicken sandwich, that kind of thing. So I use that to create rapport so they know that this person knows the brand. This person has interacted with the brand to an extent. Okay. And then I went into the message that I sent to everybody as well. So I sent out most of these via email. And then for a couple of people who I had a relationship with, it was actually via DM. Out of the 11 collaborative messages that I had sent to this list of people, right, I had 9 people who gave me a yes, but we ended up doing 8 collabs as one person couldn't go ahead and proceed with the collaboration again. So what was the infrastructure I needed to make this happen? Because you may be thinking, 11 people, what did you create? What did you do? Like I said, I kept it really simple. Remember, I did this thing in less than a week, in about a week to 10 days, right? So I had a landing page, which I actually created on my email software's landing page feature. And then I set up a link on my website that will redirect there. So what I was giving you is my website link, sapphirelearninghub.com/this, right? But when you click on it, it will redirect to this landing page that I had set up on my ESP, right? My email service provider using a template. So I wasn't building from scratch. Now I created promo assets. Remember that I told you that the assets I created were not things that I had to create multiple times, but things that I would create once and then share to everybody. So the assets, it was one Google Drive link, which had access to the promotional graphics, which were already the graphics that the program had. All I did was change the color from the brand's color to the International Women's Day color, right? Then I outlined suggested captions, some talking points, speaker highlights that they could reference, and the direct registration link. So if you were looking at that drive, you would just see the images that were in the drive We also added in a banner image, which was not something that we had originally, just for those people who were going to send it out via their email list, so that in case you wanted to put an email banner, right? And then we put a document that had important links. So it had the link to the program and the campaign duration. Then it had the social copy. So we had copy one, which was short, straight to the point. Well, then we had copy two, right? So we had just those two copy samples that we put on the social copy page. Then we had a second one that said class details, right? Just so that they had an idea of when the different classes will hold while they were sharing with their audience. We didn't even give any email copy sample for this, but the social copy could have been repurposed for email. So we had a main flyer, a banner, then we had the individual flyers that we shared for the people who had agreed to partner with us. So you see that we kept it very lean and all of that. So our process started with the outreach, right, around 25th, 27th of February. And then from the outreach, we launched the campaign. And then we ended up by sending thank you messages and some feedback from the session about a month after the campaign. The campaign lasted 1 month. It was initially supposed to be like a week, right? Because remember, this is a premium offer that we made free because we didn't want to give away something that cost us nothing. But one of the partners had actually said, could you make this open till the end of March, right? So that we'll celebrate the whole month for International Women's Day instead of just a few days. And we thought about it and it's like, it's not a bad idea, right? We're already doing this. Let's go all in. And so we went ahead to do that. Okay. So here's what our numbers were like. We had 2 landing pages actually. So the landing page we built and then we duplicated it for just one of our partners, right? Because they had wanted a page that says they were inviting their community. So we just duplicated and made that edit, right? And that was the only extra thing that we did. So for the numbers, we had 307 people who signed up. And then there was something in our sign up process, which was a second sign up. And let me explain. So because of how we set up our products and our product software currently doesn't have a direct integration to our email software. After they had signed up, usually when someone signs up, they click a link and they get access to your freebie, right? Or depending on the tool you're using, they get it through that tool, but then there's a Zap or a connection that automatically adds them to your email list, right? So we didn't have that. So after they signed up to the email list, they still had to sign up, right, for that particular offer, and it created friction. And so not everybody who signed up actually went ahead to access the offer, which was pretty sad by the time we did the reviews, and something that we'll definitely reorganize if we are doing this or when we do this again, right? And then we also had beautiful conversion rates for our landing pages. So for the first landing page, one majority of the people signed up for, right? We had about a 40.12% conversion rate. And then the second one that our partner had specifically requested that we create for them so we could add that personalization, we had a 48.31% conversion rate. We had also added in some questions to be able to know who these people were, since they were cold audience, and get to understand them better. And so let me give you some of the key insights from the audience and the people who signed up, because we also found it really interesting. We had majority of them who were email marketers, right? In terms of the total number of people. Then we had content marketers / writers. We had, in short, let me even rephrase, because email marketing had the highest single number. But if you lump all the other categories together, they would all come out higher than the total number we had for email marketing, right? So we had content marketers and writers, we had brand positioning strategists, we had digital marketers, social media managers, copywriters, we had people that identified as general strategists, we had founder, entrepreneur, virtual assistants / executive assistants, freelancers, coaches. We even had like people in real estate, business development, graphics design who came in, right? But the majority were content marketers, social media managers, copywriters, VAs, strategists, right? Email marketers, copywriters. So them said things like, I did email marketing at HubSpot, and now I want to go deeper as an expert. I'm a strategist helping personal brands build long-term reputation, leverage. I lack the knowledge of how I can make writing make money for me. I'm an email marketing enthusiast. So we actually wanted to get key audience insights. And so we set in questions in the sign-up process that will help us understand who these people were, which was really important for us because remember, cold audience, we want to ensure we serve them best and also drive conversions. Looking at their demographics, we had the majority of them, 55%, in the age bracket of 25 to 34 years old. The second highest age bracket was 18 to 24. And then we had 35 to 40. We had less than 1% falling to the 55 plus age. And then even less than 1% falling to the under 18 group, right? So that was it. So the median age was like 27, mean age was like 29. All right. For the country, right, in the geography, we had majority coming from Nigeria. We had people from the United States, Ghana, United Kingdom, Kenya. We were even surprised to see Zambia, Spain, Romania, Canada, Finland, and Brazil. It was interesting to know that we had global reach from this particular strategy. And in case you're wondering how this was tracked, one of the things that we had collected was also phone numbers, right? So we had phone numbers, we had the software tracking country reach. So that's how we got this particular data. All right. We also had India. Yeah, we had India. All right. So these people, we asked them where they found this link or how they joined the community, right? In terms of referrals. So we had them coming from our newsletter, from LinkedIn, from WhatsApp, from referral word of mouth, from our partners, from Instagram, right? So we were able to track to an extent, but not deeply, the number of people who came in from the different partner groups and community. So we're able to track to an extent, but not deeply. And then they shared with us what their biggest email marketing struggle was. They also shared why they signed up for the bundle and how it will help them. So you can see that we actually put in a lot of effort into ensuring that we were getting insights from the audience. Remember, like I said, majority of people who signed up were entirely new to our email ecosystem. They were not members of our list, right? There were some people on our list who had signed up for this, but not all the people. The vast majority were entirely new leads. And so we wanted to ensure that we understood who they were, what they wanted, and how we could help them. Now, these were some of the things we did. So you can see that the strategy was really simple. Collaborate with audience aligned communities and brands, have them share a message about their freebie, the offer, to their audience with a link that they can sign up. That was it. They had to share just one message or one social post. We provided them graphics that they could share, and that was it. Right? Now, if we're doing this again, what we'll definitely do differently, we'll really double down on audience alignment just to be sure that the messaging really resonates and hits. We want to reduce the friction of the process. So find a way to integrate our tools or make it work smoothly so that people have to just sign up once. We get all the data that we need without having them do double sign up because our softwares aren't speaking to each other. We'll definitely be tracking more because on the data we didn't get, for example, is in terms of conversions. So how many of these people went on to get other of our products, right? Or our courses, our community, any of those things. We didn't track the referrals in details. That means how many people came from X partner, Y partner, Z partner. It wasn't something that we tracked in detail. So that's definitely something that we would do differently. So deeper audience alignment, right? We want to reduce the friction. We want to track in terms of conversions. So after these people signed up, what did they buy? How many of them bought? If we could even get down to the average order value of what they bought, that would be pretty chill. Then tracking where they came from in terms of source. So how many people came from partner Y, partner X, partner C? Okay, so we'll know which community has people who resonate more with our work more, then we'll definitely reach out earlier. I mean, look at it. How long did it take us to plan this campaign? And this is what we did. So imagine if we had reached out earlier, right? How many more people could we have gotten? How many more leads would we have been able to attract? And how many more people would we have been able to impact? Now, another thing we would want to look into, actually, I have the data for this one to an extent, right? It's the engagement rate, but I'll definitely want to track it even further. So we had the average open rate for this particular group of people at 32.76% average open rate. The average click rate was 4.79% for this particular group of people. So you see that they were definitely engaged, and that's something we want to be really tracking. Then we also want to track drop off / unsubscribe. So 6 months down the line, right? How many people have dropped off? How many people have unsubscribed? Okay, so we'll know if we're having people who are just coming in for freebies and then massively unsubscribing, or we're having people who are coming in and staying to be a part of our community. This is definitely important data, and data that you will find useful. Definitely, definitely, definitely. You'll find it useful. Okay, we had a 12% drop off rate. So 12% of the people who had initially been a part of the career bundle actually went on to unsubscribe and dropped off. And this is something we'll want to really track if we're doing this again. Now, the final thing that we will want to do would be to ask our partners for 2 posts. I mean, this was one post, make a social post or send an email, and some made social posts, some sent email. And this is what we got as a result of one post per partner. Now, imagine if there was reinforcement. Imagine if the community had to hear the message twice instead of once, so that in case they've missed the first time, in case they forgot or they lost the link, they had a reminder. That means that our efforts would definitely see a significant bump, and we'll be able to reach more people, impact more lives. So that's definitely another thing that we are going to be doing. And then the final thing we'll do if we're doing this differently is to create a path. So, for example, beyond the initial acquisition of the leads, right? But create a journey that we are taking them through so that they are coming in, they are getting the thing they came for, and then we are solving the problems that they have told us about and introducing them to our offers over a period of time. So not just, the first 1 week, the first 30 days, but even going all the way up to 90 days nurture plan, or at least let's say a 60-day nurture plan where you are intentional about how you are interacting with these people over a period of time, majorly because they are cold leads. Cold leads in the sense that these are people that didn't come from, and I mean very cold, they didn't come from my audience directly. A majority of them did not come from my audience. So not from my Instagram, not from my LinkedIn. The majority of them came from other people. And because they came from other people, there is no initial trust, so to say, because they may never have heard of me or known me before that interaction. And so I want to put in more time to build the relationship, as opposed to if it was someone who has been following me on socials and then finally just signed up for this particular offer. That person already knows me to an extent, right? Now, another thing I would do differently before I go into why this work is build long-term partnerships. Now, you see how we collaborated with these brands. Beyond these initial collaborations, we could have gone on into building a long-term partnership where they become like a brand partner, right? So we invite your audience when we have classes like this that align with your brand so that you're able to give to your audience even more. We'll definitely know how we want to structure the offer and all of that. But the idea is because they have people who this can serve, we can definitely partner together to be able to do something that is symbiotic. So if they have something that we can help with, or just find a way around that partnership so it serves both brands mutually. That's the most important thing. So I would have looked at how to turn these into long-term partnerships that are beneficial to both brands. It could be scholarships, it could be promotions, depending on what angle, but definitely something that aligns with the brand so that it doesn't go just a one-off engagement, but it goes into something where we know we have a relationship with each other and we can always support each other when we are doing various things. Now, here's why this worked so well. We leveraged a season, right? The campaign was built around one thing, International Women's Day. And that's how you can build your campaign. You don't have to wait for a particular season. Your campaign can literally be a birthday campaign, right? So you build a campaign around your birthday. You build a campaign around a national day or an international day, depending on the industry that you are. What is a day that will definitely resonate with people in your industry and potential partners who have the kind of people that you want to reach out to? So you can definitely leverage a season, a date, a national or an international day for the campaign, or a widely celebrated day where you're doing a campaign for it, right? So we leveraged a season. There was message alignment. You can see that the person, I read one of the replies that we got from one of our partners, and it says, this aligns with the vision of what we do in our community. So vision alignment is, and messaging alignment is really important so that you're working with people who are ready to go all in for you because it aligns with what it is they believe in and they're happy to be a part of it. Now, this was time bound. We didn't just say, oh, International Women's Day. We gave them a particular period. So you could get in between this time to this time. And we made it clear for everybody so that they knew from the beginning that this is how long they had to be able to sign up for this particular offer, right? And that's a wrap. So I definitely enjoyed doing this campaign. I even found it more interesting to go ahead into the data, dig up all of these results and see what happened behind the scenes for this campaign, right? And it's something that anybody, including you, can do. All right. So if you're looking to grow your email list and you want more ideas or you have questions about how you can leverage this campaign in a particular or specific way, you can definitely send me a message on Instagram or LinkedIn or via my email. My social links will be in the show notes, right? You can definitely go ahead and ask me your questions or, send me a message. Let's brainstorm together. Or if you want to run the strategy you have in mind by me, you can check for me on Instagram, Dr. Sapphire. That is DR with a full stop, then Sapphire with an underscore at the end. I know that might be a bit of a mouthful, but if you're looking for me on Instagram, that's it. DR full stop Sapphire. Yes, the precious stone Sapphire. So DR full stop Sapphire and one underscore at the end. Go ahead and send me a DM saying I listened to your list growth strategy for March and I'm looking at how I can do it for my brand. Here's what I have in mind. You mind brainstorming with me or what do you think about this? And I'll be happy to give you my 2 cents because it's what I do. I help my clients to start, grow and manage their email list so that they can be totally hands off. So I don't just do it for myself, I do it for my clients and help them also generate revenue from their email list as well. All right. Thank you for listening. And it has been an absolute delight to have you listen in on this particular episode. Till next time, ciao. All right. I'm sure you love this deep dive. So go ahead and leave us a 5-star review in the podcast app. Secondly, if you want to get paid to offer email marketing as a service, but you don't know where to start, you've started and you feel stuck, you don't have who to guide you, or you don't have where to ask questions because you are afraid of being judged, then come hang out with other email marketers in the email clinic and get access to our accountability circle, industry insiders, our A to Z email marketing course, and lots more. The link is sapphirelearninghub.com/email clinic. You can also find the link in the show notes. Ciao.